A Z-Technician game is back with yet another charismatic game which introduces new characters to the shared universe of strange entities and a chaotic world. Hi folks, I'm R, your narrator, and welcome to Artifacts and Antiquity. If you have any game suggestions or theories, make sure to send them my way on my Twitter or subreddit. Keep in mind that there will be spoilers, and with that said, let's begin. Taking place in the shared universe of Vermander and interesting characters with questionable designs, Gracie, working at NC Electronics support line, receives a phone call from Morten, who is a playable character in a previous game in this shared universe. Morten reports that a computer they purchased from this company suddenly stopped working with no way of turning it back on. Gracie, being a genuine and honest person, explains how the company she's working for tried to cheap out on a crucial component on their computers, which not only corroded and stopped working after a short time of use, but it proved to be even harmful. All their computers had a chip made from an extremely cheap metal called neon, which was outlawed due to their volatility. This causes their main product to become a liability, leading to many lawsuits and the company going into a meltdown mode. Gracie, to avoid all the chaos in the company, decides to work from home, informing all the customers about this problem bluntly, as they're no more use lying and saying the company is working on a solution. Morten, being a kind-hearted person, instead of being rude and frustrated to Gracie, who's just an employee, informs her about a website where she can look for work, as her days at this company are numbered with the company going bankrupt. Gracie thanks Morten and gets on her way to look for any job that she can find. After days of search online, Gracie finally manages to secure a shift at Stahl & Co. shipping company, where she gets inducted by a fairy humanoid named Faye. Faye explains this position is for security, to observe the shipping warehouse so no one breaks in and nothing gets stolen. She continues that the Stahl brothers, the people who own this company, are kind people with questionable habits, who come over at the weekends bringing moonshine with them, sharing it with employees. If you're not familiar with what moonshine is, you wouldn't be alone, because I didn't know it either until after I looked it up. It's apparently a high-proof liquor which is usually produced illegally with no authorization from government. So good luck to the employees who drink it, as bad batches could potentially be life-threatening. Seemingly the name was traditionally given to it as it used to be produced during night times to avoid detection, hence why they call it moonshine. I guess drinking such a strong liquor made the brightness of the moonlight that much stronger. Faye then takes Gracie to the monitoring room, where she introduces her to Mike, a shadow entity which you might be familiar with from the game Beware the Shadow Catcher. Faye then goes on explaining that tonight is unlike any other, as dolls brought expensive-looking artifacts which require extra care and attention. These artifacts, in fact, are ancient Egyptian, with a coffin which Fate reports to have emitted some strange sounds earlier. She instructs Gracie to stay in the security office and guide either her or Mike to the appropriate room and check on the coffin, as Gracie is new. As Faye gets guided to the correct room and checks on the coffin, it suddenly opens with what seems to be an Egyptian goddess emerging out of it, informing Faye and the other employees that the artifacts are stolen, and due to this, they have angered the gods who are soon to arrive and destroy humanity for their insolence. Sekhmet and Thoth, who are Egyptian goddess and god of war, plague and chaos, magic, sacred texts, and sciences respectively, have specifically targeted humanity and have set their anger upon them, giving them a short time to bring back all the stolen 7 artifacts before they unleash their army of doom. This goddess who emerged out of the sarcophagus is here to help humanity, as despite her snappy and vain attitude, she doesn't believe humanity deserves such cruel punishment. This goddess, who goes by the name Nameless, as she seems to have been stripped of her rank for some reason, provides the employees with an hourglass representing the time they have left before Sekhmet and Thoth unleash the army of the ancient gods. Nameless helps Gracie locate the artifacts in order to collect them fast before the time runs out. out. As Gracie sends whether Mike or Faye to the warehouse, the monitors stop working and freeze when Faye informs Gracie not to worry, as this happens often, and she can easily fix this by using the computer in the lobby. As they manage to collect the first artifact, Nameless informs them that Sekhmet has set out his servant, the Sentinel, to prevent them from retrieving the artifacts, revealing how they do not actually care about them, but instead want an excuse to destroy humanity. Nameless continues that Sentinel used to be a human who served and guarded their kingdom, who was rewarded his mortal body in death, who is now here and is powerful enough to quickly kill anyone he encounters. Therefore, the only way anyone can survive him is by avoiding him. If Gracie mistakenly sends either Faye or Mike to the wrong rooms to open the shipping containers, they come across a trap set by Thoth, the god of sciences and magic, which could make the passage of time hasten and speed up, making it more difficult to collect all the artifacts. After collecting 2 artifacts, Nameless informs the employees that now the assassin has been sent to prevent them from collecting the artifacts. The assassin used to be a powerful individual amongst the people who served the kingdom, and in death he was rewarded his mortal body to keep on serving the gods. The assassin, as the name suggests, is more difficult to spot than the Sentinel and is capable of fully hiding in the shadows. But after death, his eyes gained a glowing red light, which could be the only way to locate him in shadows and darkness. After collecting some more artifacts, Nameless informs the employees that the last servant of Sekhmet has arrived, the servant known as the priest. Even for Nameless, it's difficult to explain what happened to him in real world, apart from oversimplifying it that he ascended spiritually, separating his astral form from his physical body. Despite managing to do so, he becomes unable to cross into the afterlife. Due to his spirituality, the priest is impossible to be seen with mortal eyes, hence why Nameless gives Gracie her ankh, which would help her locate the priest, someone who would also take anyone he encounters to the afterlife. As the employees manage to collect 6 of the artifacts, Nameless informs them that both Sekhmet and Thoth have arrived themselves, which is unprecedented, depicting how badly they want to destroy humanity. Sekhmet and Thoth try to mess up the monitors in order to prevent them to collect all the artifacts, which Gracie uses Nameless's ankh to get rid of the magic. As time starts counting down and nearing the end, Thoth himself appears controlling the hourglass, counting the seconds before they can unleash their forces. Despite being so close collecting the last item, the time runs out, meaning that the patience of the gods also run out, approving Thoth and Sekhmet's plan to destroy humanity. They approve the release of the Army of Death, the long-dormant army which has been held back for specific times, bringing about doomsdays. All the group can think about, including Nameless and some other Egyptian gods who didn't have much say in this matter, is whether their retribution was justified for such insignificant items they didn't care about much, and items which the group and majority of humans didn't have a part in stealing. None of that mattered anymore, as humanity would soon be doomed and fully annihilated. In an alternate ending, Faye's backstory is of a sad one too, which is only unveiled after her death. Faye had 3 children whom she worked hard to feed and protect. Despite her children's relentless pleas to find a different job than a dangerous job such as working as security late at night, Faye had no other choice than to do just that to pay the bills. As Mike and Gracie manage to collect all the artifacts, Nameless leaves with all the artifacts going to their rightful owners. In Faye's absence, Mike takes a role as the new supervisor, but he realizes the sheer amount of responsibilities she faced every day and dealt with so effortlessly. As a result, Mike missed Faye every day and never forgot about her, but never verbally blamed Gracie for misguiding her into her doom. Despite that, Gracie was fully aware that Mike blamed her for Faye's death, and as a matter of fact, she blamed herself and never forgave herself. In the occasion that Mike dies, his sad and troubled backstory is also revealed. As the backstory of Shadow People is unveiled in the game Beware of the Shadowcatcher, Mike, just like others like his kind, took the risk to travel to a different world full of light and color. a place unlike his own which was shrouded in darkness. In hopes of escaping his desolate, dark world and finding solace in a new world, Mike manages to secure a position as a security personnel in Stahl & Co. shipping company. The absence of Mike leaves a toll on both Gracie and Faye, who dwell on the idea that they could have done more to save him. Gracie, despite settling in her new job, she fails to ever forgive herself for not guiding Mike better to prevent his doom. Nonetheless, Faye never blames her, but she never forgets about Mike and the tragedy that befell him. In the occasion where both Mike and Faye die, Gracie takes their place, going to the warehouse to find the artifacts while Nameless guides her. Despite managing to collect all the artifacts, Gracie never forgives herself for her inability to save her co-workers and becomes all alone to watch over the warehouse. The Stahl brothers, on the other hand, learning about the events that led to the death of two of their employees, become livid and go straight on to confront the ones who gave them the stolen artifacts in order to seek revenge and maybe even kill them. This, by far, is one of the worst endings, just below the ending where the army of dead is unleashed to wipe out humanity. If Gracie manages to guide Faye or Mike to collect all the artifacts in a timely manner before the time runs out, with the entire group surviving, Nameless shows the group why collecting the artifacts was so important, at least for themselves and the humanity, not the gods. Nameless mentions how despite their efforts, Sekhmet still is angry, wanting to kill the group as they saved humanity, making it unjustified for the other gods to approve such a rash decision. The artifacts then combine together, forming an entity which is an unstoppable warrior, a protector, an ancient guardian of the people, and in a sense, against cruelty. As Gracie was the one who managed to guide the group to collect the items, she gets the power to command the protector, instructing him to get rid of the priest, the sentinel, and the assassin, all who served under Sekhmet. As the protector is busy getting rid of the servants, Thoth shows up, who offers truce, wanting to end their night of terror. Sekhmet, on the other hand, is still angry, wanting to destroy humanity and the group, as she's the goddess of war and chaos. As Thoth explains that they have already lost, losing all their servants with the protector being arisen, Sekhmet also concurs, asking to have peaceful passage back to their world. Gracie, as a result, doesn't find any problem allowing them just to do that, but asks them why they wanted to destroy humanity so bad, when Thoth explains that it's their duty. It's something they do on intervals, restarting humanity again from the ground up. As Gracie pleads with them to leave them alone, as many humans will suffer still when they try to erase humanity and restart it, Sekhmet laughs it off, referring to them as insignificant and saying it's something they've done since the beginning of time, and something that needs to keep on happening. As both Thoth and Sekhmet leave, Nameless actually commends Gracie and the group for their efforts and valor in facing these unstoppable gods, being in some way selfless, saving humanity. Nameless informs them not to worry, as these gods are only as powerful as they let them be, which means the more people believe in them and pray to them, the more powerful they become, with tonight being a testament that they can be defeated. As Nameless tries to leave and bids the group farewell, the group urges her to stay with them for some time, which Nameless agrees to, appreciating the gesture, wanting to take some time off from her godly duties. The group makes Nameless feel welcomed, staying together watching the monitors blankly for some reason, tightly sitting on the small sofa with the protector next to them. Despite it being thought to be a short while, for Nameless a short while seems to be decades, as she stays with the group in the Stahl & Co. company for a long time, with the protector alongside them, making the warehouse one of the safest places on Earth. They spent every second of their time together, gossiping around or listening to the thrilling and amazing stories of Nameless from long time ago, which they enjoyed every last second of, having a happy ever after together. And that's about it for this video, folks. I truly hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, you can stay tuned for more by hitting on the subscribe button and the notification bell. It's been your host Star, and I will catch you on the next one. Take care.